Are you always looking for that next productivity Mac app that will save seconds, minutes, and hours off every single workday so that you can get back to doing the things that you really enjoy? Well, so am I. Today, I'm going to share not just one, but 10 different Mac apps that help me be more productive on a daily basis. And I've even got a bonus app at the very end that I just started using, so stick around for that. Thanks to Setapp for partnering with today's video. All right, so the first app that I want to talk about is called Magnet, and it's pretty straightforward. It enables you to snap windows to different sections of your monitor or your screen. And this is super handy for me as someone who uses an ultra wide monitor, but it's also really useful for anybody, even if you're just working on your laptop screen. So let me just show you with a window how it works. So once I've got a window here, I can just drag over to the left side and it snaps to the left side. Do the same thing to the right and so on. You can do full screen and even into, I think it's 6th, you can divide the screen up into and just snap windows into those different sections. In the preferences for Magnet, you can select and set different shortcuts for different areas of the screen that you want to snap windows to. Like I mentioned, you can do it in 3rds and 6th, and you can even use it to move windows to next displays, previous displays, and to maximize, censor, and restore windows. So this is one of the first things I will always install on a new Mac is Magnet, just because without it, it's such a pain having to manually resize windows all the time. All right, so next on the list, we've got monitor control, and this is super useful if you're using an external monitor. Basically what it does is it enables you to control, just using your keyboard shortcuts, the brightness and the volume of your external monitor that's connected to your Mac. So for me, normally with this LG ultrawide, I have to use the manual switch to be able to change things like brightness and volume. But with this app installed, all I have to do is just hit the brightness key and that will adjust the brightness of the screen as well as the volume. So I can turn the volume up and down just using my keyboard shortcuts as I would if I was just using the keyboard shortcuts on my Mac. It's got heaps of customization options. So you can set your own custom keyboard shortcuts, for example, and enable smooth brightness transitions. And you can even sync the brightness changes between the 2 displays if you want to do them both at once. So super handy if you use an external display with your Mac. All right, so next on the list is AirBud. And what AirBud lets you do is see all your nearby and connected devices and what the battery level on each is. Now I know Mac has inbuilt battery indicator displays now, which you can see up here, but AirBud just lets you see more devices basically than what the native Mac battery display lets you see. So here you can see on mine, you've got all the different devices that I can see. So I can see Bluetooth speakers, my AirPods, my headphones, even my Apple Watch, iPad, my keyboard and mouse. And if I want to just quickly see the battery for all of these different devices, just go and select your devices up here and you can see all my different items. You can see my MX Keys keyboard definitely needs a charge. Everything else is looking pretty good. And it's also pretty cool because just like on your iPhone, when you open your AirPods case using AirBud, if you open your AirPods case near your Mac, you can see the case battery level as well as the actual individual AirPods charge level. So I'm a big fan of AirBud, especially because we've got so many different devices to always keep charged. It's really nice to know which ones are charged, which ones are flat. All right, so the next app on the list, which I've used for ages now, is Alfred. And if you haven't heard of it, basically it's a supercharged spotlight search bar. So if you just do the standard command space, it will open this search bar, which you can fully customize, by the way. And this enables you to search through your Mac really quickly and easily. Now with Alfred, there's so many different things you can do, like setting custom shortcuts, automations, and all sorts of things like that. But I'll just share the main things I like to use it for. The biggest reason why I like to use it is because it's so much quicker than the default spotlight search that macOS has inbuilt. So like I just showed you before, if I search for anything, just type in Photoshop, it instantly appears. Like it's so fast. And then even if you want to search for something online, you can just type in best Mac apps and then you can choose to search Amazon, Wikipedia, Google. That's all fully customizable. And then shortcuts are really handy. So one that I regularly use is empty trash. I just type in empty trash appears, hit space, and the trash will be emptied. Again, you can customize all sorts of different commands in here, like locking the screen, shutting the computer down, force quit applications, all sorts of different things. If you're looking for a better spotlight search, then I definitely recommend checking Alfred out. All right, so next on the list is this app here called Structured. And I've actually been using it a lot lately in conjunction with my physical journal in terms of keeping track of my daily tasks and checklists. And the cool thing about Structured is that it's fully integrated with AI. So I can just open the AI assistant and then use keyboard and I can just type in what I need to do today. So I've got my little notebook here where I keep track of my tasks. just like that, we've typed in what we need to get done today. So I'm just gonna hit submit, let the AI think for a second, and then it will give me a task list of everything that I just told it I need to do. And then all I have to do is just hit this little icon here, go add all, finish. And then as you can see, they're all on my task list for the rest of the day, all scheduled out just how I want them. So it's super handy. If you do want to adjust them, it's just a matter of double clicking and then hitting edit task. And from there you can fine tune them, adjust the color, add alerts, and even add subtasks. So I've just been finding this really useful to use and satisfying to check things off. So you can see I had my lunch from 1:30 to 2 p.m. and checked that off. It was very satisfying. If you're looking for a good checklist, something that's super straightforward and helps you just keep track of what you need to do each day, this is a great app for that. And just quickly before we dive into the next app, I want to take a moment to talk about Setapp, today's partner, a fantastic platform of premium Mac apps that has seriously boosted my productivity. What's really cool about Setapp, apart from the hundreds of amazing Mac apps that you get included with the subscription, is the AI assistant. Just tell it what solution you're looking for and it recommends the best app on the platform for that specific task. I've genuinely been loving Setapp and have literally been using multiple apps a day since I started using it, as you can see from this video. Setapp kindly gave me a 1-year subscription, and if you sign up using the affiliate link and the code NickKendall, you'll get a free 30-day trial instead of the usual 7 days. So check it out below if you're interested. All right, so the next app we have is called Session. Now, if you've watched my videos for a while, you know I'm a big believer in the Pomodoro technique, which is where you set a 25-minute or longer timer and then take a 5-minute break. And Session is a really good Pomodoro timer in digital form. So you can select your focus and put it into different categories. So for me, I've got like planning, editing, writing, filming, that type of thing. And then once you've selected your task, you can set your intention. So if I'm planning, I might want to plan some shorts. It will prompt you to take a breath before you start your work. And then once you've taken a breath, it will start the session for you. And then the 25-minute count up will start counting down. You can add or subtract time if you want, add notes to your session. And I think the coolest thing about this particular app is that it actually gives you some analytics on your Pomodoros. So for example, if we go back to the 4th to the 10th of December, which was last week, I can see my total focus, total break time, my average focus per day, and my most focus time. And I always find these kinds of stats really interesting to look at, and it can really help me know where I need to focus more time in the future and where I know I'm slacking or wasting time. So if you're looking for a digital Pomodoro timer, this is a really great option available on Setapp. Definitely recommend checking it out. All right, next on the list, we have GetSound. What GetSound does is it creates a customized soundscape to help you focus. And this has actually been really helpful for me over the past few weeks. It uses AI to create a custom soundscape. So it looks at your location, the time, and the conditions outside, as well as the temperature. And then it will create a custom soundscape for you, which you can fully customize. You can select different environments depending on what mood you're in and what helps you focus. So I often like listening to gentle rain sounds. That helps me to focus. And then it just constantly plays it in the background. I just find this so helpful to help me focus. Especially in my area, I've got a lot of construction noise and gym noises and all sorts of things. So this really helps me to tune all that out and just focus on my work. All right, next up we have Cleanshot X. And Cleanshot is a screen recording tool that's, again, super powerful. You can have a custom wallpaper that appears when you're recording if you want. I'm currently using a wallpaper from my wallpaper pack. Make sure you check that out in the description. You can set up different shortcuts for recording, which is really nice. And then it's got a quick access recording button that appears in your toolbar. So for me, it's up just here and I can go capture full screen, capture area, even self timer, scrolling capture, record screen, all sorts of different capture options. It does screenshots as well as videos, and obviously I use it for videos. You can set your different recording options in here, including frame rates and resolutions. So if you do screen recording a lot like I do, then Cleanshot X is definitely a great option for that. All right, so the next app on the list is Permute. And what Permute does is it's basically just a conversion app. Now I used to use Handbrake quite a lot to convert videos, but Permute is really good because it converts all sorts of different file types, not just videos. And it's a lot more straightforward than Handbrake because all you have to do is just open Permute, grab the clip that you want to convert, drag and drop it. And then all you have to do is just select the file format that you want to convert it to and then hit play and then it will convert. It's super fast, really straightforward. And for me as a content content creator, it's so good to just be able to quickly and easily drag and drop files that I need converted, especially into MP4s, and not have to worry about complicated settings. So Permute is definitely a great program if you work with any type of media or content. All right, so the next app we have is called Bartender. And what Bartender does is it enables you to fully customize the menu bar at the top of your Mac. Now, if you're anything like me, as someone who has a lot of different apps on their Mac, your control bar can get quite messy and full of different controls and apps and all sorts of things. So one of the coolest things about Bartender is it lets you just customize what you can see and what's hidden. So if I open up and show you what's hidden, you can see I've actually got quite a lot of different apps being displayed up on the menu bar. And normally if they're all displayed at once, it's just kind of cluttered and distracting. So I prefer to have them hidden. And again, you can fully customize that using Bartender. So if we go into the Bartender preferences, you can see here you can customize what different menu bar items are displayed. You can have different presets depending on what different apps are open at different times. You can customize the menu bar style. So you can see currently I've got like rounded with separate sides, which is quite different. I actually quite like it. Like it feels, I don't know, a little bit more neat, a little bit more interesting than just a standard squared off flat bar across the top. Like I mentioned, you've got presets depending on what different apps are open. You can even set up custom triggers. So for example, I've got a trigger so when Spotify music is playing, it will show me the now playing up in the menu bar, which is pretty cool. Bartender is a really good app if you just like to have full control over your Mac and make sure everything's nice and neat and tidy. All right, last but not least, as I promised, we have a bonus Mac app that I just started using a couple of weeks ago, which is why I didn't include it in the main list, because I'm still really getting my head around this app because it can do so much. But it's called Better Touch Tool, and it enables you to basically set up all sorts of custom triggers and keys and mouse gestures and all sorts of different things. Literally select from all your different inputs. You can do Stream Decks, Magic Mouse, Trackpad, normal mouse, keyboards. And then once you've selected your input device, you can then fully customize and create super custom shortcuts. So for me, I have this set up so that if I go Control Shift click, it's going to split my window into two. And then if I go Control Shift right click, it's going to move my window over to my other display. And honestly, with Better Touch Tool, you can customize so many different shortcuts like this. I've literally barely scratching the surface with what you can do with Better Touch Tool, and I'm keen to explore more with what I can do with it. But if you're looking for an app that can really streamline different processes you can do just with super quick and easy keyboard shortcuts or mouse shortcuts, then I definitely recommend checking out Better Touch Tool. Now, if you're thinking about getting an ultra wide monitor like this, then make sure you watch this video here where I talk about the best and the worst things about having an ultra wide monitor.